Oh my God, I had a little bit of a panic attack last night. So for the past month, my phone would, when I went to charge it, it wouldn't let me charge it, and it said there was moisture in the port. So I Googled what that meant, and it said to dry it and stand it straight up. So if there is some moisture, it can, I guess, leave the phone. I go to charge my phone. It's at 6% last night around 8 o'clock. And it starts doing it again. So whatever. I put it under the hairdryer. I turn it off. Put it under the hairdryer. Stand it up. It would not charge all night. Completely dead. So now I'm having a flipper because we're training today. I don't know what. Clients may have questions in the morning. Might ask if they can come out. All these things are starting to annoy me. So I get on Amy's phone. I go into my email. Thankfully, there wasn't too many questions. A few that were easy to answer, but not too many. I can't get into my text message, obviously. It's my phone. I check all the stuff I need to check, and I leave. I get in my car. Now, I have tried everything. I've tried different chargers in the house. I've tried everything. I literally went on the Best Buy website and bought a charger where you just put the phone on it. They say they suck, but you don't have to plug anything in. So I'm like, oh, that'll work. So I'm like, I'm not going to have my phone for the whole day. I get in my car this morning at 8 o'clock. I'll try it. I plugged it in my car, and it started charging. So I let it charge all morning. I didn't even turn it on until noon. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's working now. I got to order a new phone. Obviously, there's something wrong. I didn't get it wet. I mean, I've got it wet before a little bit, but, somebody spilled something on it or something. It's not a big deal. Something's got to be wrong with it that it keeps doing this. So I'm going to have to get a new phone, I guess. Not the end of the world, but it certainly was the end of the world this morning. It felt like it was because I'm like, oh, there's only essential services. I'm sure Best Buy's not open. I'm not going to have a new phone. And it wasn't a good time. It wasn't a good time for me today. So,
I have a question.
Yeah, honey.
Can I have your phone when you get a new one?
No, you'll not be having any phones.
Oh, come on.
So,
one.
We trained all the babies today. We're going to train them today. Might go another slow mile with some of the ones that need the work on Saturday. Then we're planning to drone Tuesday. We're planning to drone Tuesday morning all the babies. Now, Friday, we're planning to drone all the 3-year-olds. I'm going to make those sets up. Now, I'm going to ask Curtis if he can load all the 3-year-olds into his spreadsheet thing that pops up because I have no other way. I can do it. I suppose I can do it on just an email and copy and paste it into I guess I could do that. We're going to have all the sets up for everybody today. I guess maybe tomorrow at the latest because I have to work on them today. So all the babies went today. The usual suspects were good. I had a couple I wanted to work on. Obviously, we talked extensively about brilliant corners. Made a break again today, but was a little more sensible. Starbucks didn't close. A little more sensible. Brilliant Corners made a little break, but everybody else seemed to do good. I'll tell you a horse that you're really going to have to keep your eye on over the next month or so is GW Chrome. He was fantastic again today. He's really figured it out now. It took him a month. It took a whole month for him to figure out how to use the hobbles, but now that he's got the hang of it, man, oh man, he is strutting his stuff out there. He was good today. I'm just going to run through the horses. I just wrote down the horses that caught my eye. Maybe I missed a couple. Glare AM made a break on Amy again today. I'm going to have to go with a Glare AM on Saturday. She seemed great when I went with her, but she does have a penchant to make a break down by the wire, which, Ava, stop, which is a problem. So, I don't know whether, I would suspect, we have a gate and strap on her. I think she's just getting sounder, and she's probably touching herself. Ava?
What?
She's probably just touching herself in the middle of the straightaway on the end of the mile, because when you move her in the straightaway down the backstretch, she's all business. Down the lane, you got to watch her. I would say a pretty minor fix, but I'll have to go with her on Saturday. Other than that, she was going to win the set and just made a break in the middle. Let's go from the top. Gray as a New Red won the first set because she was in with trotters, Frilly, Fringes, and them, but swooped the field and was really pacing on the end of it. Not that shocking. This affiliate that we know has a lot of talent. I believe has a lot of talent. We'll see how she does this summer. Again, we're going with the premise that everything is business as usual at this point. Between, Donald Trump saying everything's back to normal on Easter, which seems unlikely, or the guarded way they're asking everybody to self-quarantine here. I between the economy and the health of everybody, I think, what did they say in New York the other day? And you knew this was coming. The economy can't sit still forever. New York said the survival rate is over 98%, well over 98%. So of 100 people get infected, almost 99 of them will live, I guess. So theoretically, people got to get back to making money. Especially this industry. And I don't mean to sound callous, and you have to watch what you say, because you can come off as arrogant and callous. You maybe the easy answer was maybe you wouldn't be talking like that if you had it. You're right. But at the end of the day, not everybody has it. I don't know if I had it, didn't have it, I have no idea. But, you think about it and people say, well, there's relief. I had this argument with my father the other day, and for the first time in my life, I literally believe he was 100% wrong and I was 100% right. I know it seems that way when we argue, but this time I'm certain of it. When you talk about relief and welfare and stuff, at the end of the day, people in this industry, for instance, are pretty fragile, right? A lot of us live check to check. I know a lot of the caretakers definitely live check to check on a good week. And then when you say, well, we might be able to give you 50 or 40 or 50 or 60, even 60% of your paycheck as relief, and you can apply for that April 1st, that's just not going to cut it. That's why I've been working my butt off all week to ensure that we keep everybody employed, because I know, right? I know when I walk in the barn and I see the looks on their faces trying to figure out how stressed I am, I know that they're in need, right? They're in need. So I suspect you're going to see, and mark my words, I could be wrong, but I think what you're going to see is people say, listen, the survival rate is 98%. We know the people most at danger are people that are a little bit older or have underlying health and respiratory issues. People that haven't had it feel fine. Go back to work and still practice social distancing until we get this nipped completely in the bud. And I think somewhere along the lines of that is what you're going to see in the coming weeks and months. Maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea, but I don't see, Trump's saying this because Trump's an economy guy, right? He knows what's going to happen if they stay down too long. And I know that the head doctor, Fauci's beside him, biting his tongue and biting his lip, and really doesn't believe that people can go back to work on April 12th. But there is going to be a clash of the titans at some point when the economy meets the health of everybody overall, and survivability rate of 98%. I think the economy's going to win. So maybe I'm wrong. There's no need commenting. I mean, it's not really open for discussion. Who cares if we go back and forth? Because nobody knows. Time will tell, and we're on uncharted waters and terrifying times. But at the same time,
what does 98% mean?
So if you had $1, that would equal 98 cents.
No, 100.
No. Thank you. Thank you for that. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on this. We're trying to stay chipper and happy. We're hanging in there right now. We're trying to. I've written a rather long, an article in HRU about sustaining payments. I do have the feeling that they're going to try and push on and push forward with sustaining payments on April 15th. And I think they're going to use some sort of cop-out saying the legalities that go around with it. We have to. They don't have to. They just, in my honest opinion, they're choosing to take the easy way out. And I know I had talks with some people at Woodbine. I know they're working on it, but this represents a ton of money. So here's the gist of the problem. They ask us to sustain in March, April, and May because we don't know how good our horses are. If they defer those payments to June, just an open deference, and just say, okay, just pay us in June, a lot of people are going to look at their horse and say, nah, I don't think he's going to make it or she's going to make it. I'm not paying those payments, when they would have in April and May. So, for instance, the number I was given the other day, the Breeders' Crown, the sustaining payments for the Breeders' Crown in April and May equaled $1.8 million last year. Now, my argument's simple. You are going to have people that will not sustain this month because they don't want to pay it out or they can't pay it out. And you will have people in June that won't sustain because their horses, to them now, they've decided their horses aren't good enough. Those numbers, I suspect, are similar Maybe not right on, but I think they're similar. And one way is, to me, callous and disrespectful of the industry, and you can hide behind legalities, but at the end of the day, that's what it is. You know, we all have to work hard. The right way forward is always going to be the toughest way forward, especially right now, and that's not the right way forward, and it's not the toughest way forward. It's the easiest way forward, and I don't believe it's the right way forward. In June, that is what I would consider right for the industry, right? And I had said, well, what about making promissory notes? He said, well, what are you going to do, sue people because they didn't pay it? We'll be suing people in the next 2 years. I guess they're right. But I still think right is right and wrong is wrong, and open deference is the way to go. Maybe not till June, but definitely till the 1st of May or May 15th. Skip this payment. You know, skip the April payment and put it double down on the 15th of May, or spread it out. You know, if somebody makes the May 15th payment, they're likely going to make the June 15th payment if there was one, if there was a necessity for one. They're likely going to make that last payment just to see. They've already invested X amount of dollars. That last little drink of water isn't the end of the world. Now, some people will, but some people won't. Anyway, that's the problem. That's both sides of the fence. One, they're worried about revenue coming in, but two, at this time, my argument is simple. The last thing in the world you should be worried about is revenue. You should be worried about the participants of this industry and this industry being able to survive moving forward. That's what you should be doing. I know we're doing the best we can. Everybody else should do the same. Now that that's out of the way, we're looking at how the babies went. I told you Gray as the New Red was good. Frilly Fringes took over the lead late in the stretch. We were trying to go around 35 or 40. We wanted to back them up. Only one set got a little out of hand because one of the guys, this is what happens. I didn't tell him going out that, you know, we were going to 35 because we wanted to go easy. He came first over with a horse and you know, really, I'll talk about him later. I didn't think the horse could do this anyway, so I wasn't really that worried, but he did. One horse looked better than everybody today. A couple of them looked very good in those confines of the 235 speed level. One horse went quite a bit faster, 228, and looked extremely good. A horse I was very surprised with. Not because I didn't think he could do it, just because I didn't think he'd do it this quickly. Anyway, Frilly Fringes was great, finished up second. The next set, I'm not going to talk about everybody. I'm going to tell you in a minute. You're going to have to wait like everyone else. I'm just going to talk about the horses that stuck out in my mind. Obviously, Eternity Road didn't make this list. He was third, but he was in with the Pacers. We were smoking on the end of it. He did everything right. James said he was unbelievably good today. Great. That's what I want to hear. Cut the Line and Can't Muscle Me were both very, very good in set number 2. Cut the Line was good. Can't Muscle Me was flying on the end of it. Did her work really, really well. Very impressed with all the muscle masses out there that we have. All the horses. We have 3 of them, I believe, and all of them were fantastic this week and look like they're going to make a difference moving forward. A horse that we haven't heard from in a while that was very, very good today was Momo. Momo and My Jazz were great. This is a set where Amy looked, from where I was on the far outside, just looking to get Stacy Hanover to finish up good and get a real good gauge on her. We'd made some shoeing adjustments. She was really, really good today. I think I was 3rd or 4th, but she trotted hard through the lane, around the turn, looped over to the lead, and took off. Very impressed with what Stacy Hanover did today. But she was 3rd or 4th. My Jazz and Momo were very, very good. Finished up strong together. Glariam, I believe, was going to win the set and just made a break halfway down the lane on Amy. I'll go with her on Saturday. I don't think there's a big deal. Listen, worst case scenario, we stuff the hobbles on her. I just don't think she needs them. But we'll see. We'll see.
The big moment.
A horse that was very, very, very good today and has been good, and I think you're going to hear a lot about him in the coming months. Northern Blizzard. Northern Blizzard came first over and just powered past them coming out of the turn. Walk on the Moon was very good. I'm a Lovely Lady was on the inside closing up, but Northern Blizzard powered past him, and he was very, very strong today. Really impressed with Northern Blizzard, Walk on the Moon, and I'm a Lovely Lady. Another horse we haven't heard much of lately. I haven't gone with him lately. He was very good today, and that was Desperado. I had said to James, you know, I can see why a lot of these grooms or the riders that would go with these horses might not like them. You just tap him on the tail. He kind of gives you a little bit of 4th gear. Cross the lines over and hit him a swat in the butt. Immediately overdrive, and he'll carry it as long as you want to have him carry it. You want me to send them with you? I just got to do some stuff down at Jason's barn. You guys want to stay with me or go with Mommy?
Um,
There's a shocker.
They're coming with you. Figure out what you guys want to do for lunch, and I'll be home in a little bit, okay? Yeah. Yeah. Why? What's wrong?
bye, Daddy Head.
Daddy head. Okay. Just me and the dinosaur, I guess. It's a dinosaur. I don't know why it's here. He or she is here. As I said, Northern Blizzard was very, very good. Desperado, I was at. Desperado came first over with him also. Getting into the last turn, he kind of went to sulk a little bit, and I crossed the lines over. I give him a swat, and he exploded to the lead and finished up with a bow in his neck. Where we was up was very, very good in there also. These are two horses that have kind of been in a lull the last 2 or 3 training sets, and both of them were fantastic today. A horse that surprised me that was closing up in behind me was Lincoln Hanover. Lincoln Hanover has been coming on. Mario and Deb's the caretaker, and Mario's been going with him, have done a great job with this colt. There was times this winter when this horse's knees were quite sore, remember? George, GW Chrome, we'll talk about him in a minute. Lincoln Hanover, a couple other horses where their knees were sore. We had to back up with them, not train them for 2 or 3 weeks, just go easy. Lincoln Hanover looked very, very good today. Very happy with him. And Fox Valley Britska, he might be an angry little troll, but man, oh man, can he trot. And he never, ever gets tired. This is a horse that we're going to continue to chip and polish until he gets it right, until he's a happy little bugger. Man, oh man, his level of stubbornness and ignorance is unmatched at times. But when he's doing it right, whoo, he looks really good. Now we moved on to the next set. We made a little shoeing change with my filly, Darling Please, and I've had a couple of people ask me, why isn't she up on the site for sale? You're right. So a lot went into Darling Please landing here. That's a story for another day. At the end of the day, I didn't feel comfortable selling shares of her just yet because I wasn't happy with her. But the last 2 training sets, I've been very happy with her. Now, she was doubled up a little bit today, made a little break in the first turn, but come up trotting and was very quiet about it, caught up to the field easily. 4 wide in the last turn, trotted hard down the lane, and was closing in Barbie's Crown. We had put the hobbles on Barbie's Crown for the first time today. She was very good. She won the set, and closing a ton on the far outside was Darling Please. Both of them were good. Now we get to the smoke show. So there was Beef and Cheddar, Roy Hill, Beef and Cheddar, Roy Hill. I forget who else in there. There was 5 of them anyway. Welland Down was in there, coming off a bit of a questionable drive by Mark Isabel. He was in there. Beef and Cheddar, Welland Down. And Eternity Road. James had Eternity Road, and I had Roy Hill. So Chris Rogers used to drive. He's a good horseman, great guy. He helps out here. He's a volunteer. And Chris is a great guy. So I didn't say anything to him going out, but I'm thinking Blue Monk is in pretty tough in here. He's in with the best horses we have right now. He'll be fine. I didn't tell him I wanted to go on 35. I didn't tell him to go easy with him. Welland Down got over the half in 20. And Chris Rogers moved Blue Monk first over from 4th and blew right by Welland Down. I'm coming with Roy Hill, and I know we're going way more than we're supposed to the last half. We're supposed to come the last half in 13, 14, come the last half in 7, and I couldn't catch Blue Monk. Now, I was just idling. I looked over at James getting in the last turn. I said, we're going way too much. And he had Eternity Road pinned in. Beef and Cheddar was sitting at the back. He was running in a little bit today, and I know Matt had asked me, he looks a little rough in the turns. He does. We'll talk about that in just a second. I couldn't run him down with Roy Hill. Blue Monk laid waste to the best horses we had today. Now, he kind of bushwhacked us because we all were not ready. We weren't ready to go that fast and weren't supposed to and didn't want to go that fast. Now, if anybody didn't have an issue going that fast, it was that group of horses. But Blue Monk made them like it today. I was impressed. That horse has been getting... I told you, him and One My Heart Hanover were, I think, by far the smartest horses we have, and did their work well and understood their job and understood how to do it better every week, it appeared. Just intelligent horses. And the performance Blue Monk put on today was impressive. Even though he broke the rules and he went too much and we weren't supposed to do that, Blue Monk looked good. Now, I was talking about Beef and Cheddar. So Beef and Cheddar's been running in. You can tell he gets out of gear. So here's the thing. everybody, we always talk about Jeezy's horse will get better when the corks come off. Now, you can imagine hard tracks. They hit that track with those spikes, those corks, and they stop. Now, they get better because those corks come off and they slide, but a lot of them have built up a tolerance almost. They understand, they know how to pace with corks on. But when you take those corks off, now they hit the ground and they slide a little bit. And it takes them a couple weeks sometimes to really get their legs underneath them again. Now they're learning to pace with not a different shoe, but definitely a different way they hit the ground and come off the ground. The way they strike the ground and exit the ground into their gait, not the same. So Beef and Cheddar's knees bother him. There's no two ways about that. Roy Hill's knees bother him too. We're going to make a shoeing change on both of them tomorrow. I think this is just a transformation from the winter into the spring. Growth spurts in the springtime when the sun comes out. You'll see when the grass comes out, some of these horses will sprout up a little bit. You might see horses make breaks in odd places and be like, geez, he never did that before. She's never did that before. They're going through growth spurts. So Beef and Cheddar wasn't awesome today, but I think it was a combination of taking the corks off for the first time, hitting a little bit of a growth spurt. We're going to put the flip-flops on Roy Hill. I might opt just to put a razor pad on Beef and Cheddar, but we'll see this week. No concerns with him. I'll go with him on Saturday to see how he feels, but I think he's just got to work through it. Then we went to the next set, and everybody in that set was very good. Now, GW Chrome, I told you guys to keep your eye on him. GW Chrome on, what day is today? Today's Wednesday. So on Saturday, we didn't drone. I came first over at GW Chrome, and I told you how impressive he was. He's now learning to use the hobbles properly and be comfortable, and almost getting a little cocky on the track. Same trip today. I came first over, just sat on the outside. I coasted up past James. James had Italian Grit, who looked great in the 2-hole. That's My Girl was on the front end, and she looked good. Jessie Balboa was coming also. That was a great set. We all finished right there except for one horse, and that was GW Chrome. I looked over at James coming around the last turn. I said, oh, George is going to inhale this bunch. We got to head a lane. There's a couple of horses that do this, and I love when they do this, and GW Chrome is one of them. He just switches his leads and then immediately ducks his tail and explodes into the stretch. GW Chrome went from 3 lengths behind Danny at the head of the lane on this short half-mile track to winning by about 4 lengths driving away. GW Chrome's a fast colt. I come off the track, and I said, we're going to have fun in Ohio this year. I hope everything gets sorted out quickly because Eternity Road, I'm a Lovely Lady, all the ones that had question marks beside them are now coming forward. We knew that a lot of them had talent and could go, but the ones that we were concerned about, GW Chrome for a month was no good. But I told everybody, just relax. He's learning how to use the equipment. He's eager to learn. He just hasn't figured it out yet. And the trip he went was both Saturday and again today was just really impressive. And GW Chrome, I think now he's starting to be able to trot hard in the straightaways, smart enough just to throttle it back just a tiny bit in the turns, but still stay comfortable and ready to attack. And the second we straighten out, he's gone. And I think you'll even find over the next month, 2 months into qualifying season, that lull period in the turns, that will diminish, that will dissipate also, where he might even be able to explode in the turns the way he does in the straightaways. GW Chrome is an interesting horse moving into the 2020 season. Keep your eye on GW Chrome. He looked very, very good today. Italian Grit and That's My Girl. For Mark Adams out there, we've been waiting for Italian Grit. Couldn't really answer Mark. Is he any good? Does he have any talent? He looked great on Saturday and looked even better today. That's My Girl, and him and Jessie Balboa finished up good. And I said to our guys, all of our Indiana horses are coming on. I don't know how overall talented they are. Is That's My Girl going to be a 55 trotter or 2? I have no idea. But does she have to be? Really, I'd rather 4 or 5 really effective, honest trotters. Probably going to make money more times than not with them than horses that are erratic and hot and fast, but make mistakes. So I'm happy. I'll take what we got right now when it comes to Indiana. And then in the last set, 3 standouts there. I went with Brilliant Corners. Made a break. I could see he's struggling a bit, but he relaxed a little bit more today. He felt a little bit more comfortable. I think we're getting there, but it's going to take some time. I don't think you're going to see any error-free miles from Brilliant Corners for quite a while. Not a lot of people out there own shares of them. Just relax. We'll get there with him. I'm going to start going with him full time. He's going to get my undivided attention daily until we get him through this. So Admirable was tremendous today. She looked like a woman against girls today training, And Mama Knows Best was flying on the end of it also. James had So Admirable wrapped up, stopped going under the wire. Mama Knows Best was flying. Better's Hope was flying also on the inside. And then the two at the back. Ridden Sunshine's first training trip back in 3 weeks was today. He looked adequate. He looked good, but he looked healthy, which is more important. We already know he has speed. You saw that before we castrated him and sent him down to Harry's and then castrated him. You could tell he had speed. A couple of days he looked very, very good here. The day of the O'Brien Awards, we trained them all here, and the minister and the delegation from PEI had visited the barn, and they all thought that Ridden Sunshine, that was the horse they were all watching that day and were asking me about later on. Ridden Sunshine's got a lot to offer. Very happy to see that Harry's got his health under control, and now we'll get him moving forward. And then, of course, I went with Brilliant Corners, and Brilliant Corners made a break, but I know it's frustrating, and I know a lot of people own shares in Brilliant Corners, but for the people out there, take your time. We had George making breaks nonstop. We got to the bottom of him. He's ready to explode forward now. Carry a Big Stick just got castrated. We're going to keep working on him. All the horses that were making mistakes, for the most part, we have them under control and have them moving forward now. So just take your time. I know Pacers are a little trickier. That might sound silly to people, but you know, they are a little trickier. When they're making breaks, usually there's something bothering them. This is a horse we had OCDs removed from his left hind. I don't see any soreness. I don't see any discomfort or lameness. I'm going to say it's mechanical. So we're going to make some drastic changes to his gear and to his shoeing tomorrow. And I'm going to keep going with him until we get him right. So just another good day of training today. And I know everybody says, oh, Anthony always has great days training. Pretty hard not to have. I can focus on any group of horses when we have 63 of them training. It's easy to find that some horses train good. I think I had 20 on my list. We didn't have any horses bad today, even with the break of Brilliant Corners. I expected that. What I'm looking for is him to start trying to understand what is going on the track. I need him to be able to follow, move, makes a break, fine. I'm of the belief we can iron out those wrinkles. But teaching him along the way is important, because when he does get it right and he does start to do it right, we need to have that intelligence, that foundation of intelligence there, or he's going to be not a useful horse for us all year. So other than that, if you guys are wondering how some of your horses went today, if they weren't on the list, as I said, a number of horses went good, but I expected them to go good. Broadway Roll was good. Eternity Road was good. Stacy Hanover, as I said, was good. There was a number of horses that did their work very, very well. So, all said and done, a good day of training today. I know you guys are home. We're going to do our best to continue to bring you videos, continue to bring you information. Friday, we will be going in the drone with all our 3-year-olds that are going. Now, I shouldn't say all, because maybe a couple of them are a little bit sick. I don't know of any that are sick. I know that, like for instance, Bottle of Red. I don't really think Bottle of Red needs to be training on Friday. If we do, it'll be a slow mile, but everybody's seen her when she showed up in the winner's circle at Mohawk. So right now we're focused on the future. We're focused on getting back to work, getting back to racing, and getting this 2020 season back underway. Not just for me, not just for you, but for everybody in this industry. So that's it. Everybody chin up. I hope you're all healthy. Try to stay happy. We're going to continue to bring you lots of information over the coming days and weeks. Take care.